Hello, my stamping friends. My name is AtYourServiss, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Denton, Maryland, United States of America. If you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And if you are coming back to visit again, welcome back. So my name is AtYourServiss, and I wanted to show you a card that I made using the Layers of Beauty bundle. So this actually comes with a stamp set and coordinating dies. So I can grab those out here for you so they look like this. And the card I'm going to make tonight is a little bit different than this one in that I made this card in a Stampers Club group that I have, and using this designer series paper. However, they really liked the back side of it better, so I let them be creative and use the back side, and then I was like, oh, I should try that. So actually tonight I'm going to use the back side of that paper. Now this is retired paper. It's out of the Patterns Party Patterns, one or the other. It is retired, but we carry a lot of different designer series paper that have black and white designs on them, so hopefully you will have some in your stash. Otherwise, just use a designer series paper that coordinates with the colors that we'll be using, which are Daffodil Delight, Azure Afternoon, and Garden Green. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to set this aside. You're going to need a thick basic white card base that measures 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So do that real quick. So just a basic A2 card. And use the bend folder on your score mark, give it a nice, good professional crease. Okay, then you're also going to need the designer series paper that I mentioned, and I have cut that to actually match the card base. A lot of times when making cards, we'll leave like 1/4 of an inch around the edge. I mean, 1/8 of an inch, should say, excuse me, 1/8 of an inch around the edge, but this one I'm going to go actually all the way to the edge. Then you're going to also want, so that would measure 4 1/4 by 5.5. And then you're also going to want just a piece of basic white that measures 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, and that's for the die cut element that is going to be your flowers. And then you also want a piece of basic white that measures 4 3/4 by 3.5. Did I bring that piece in here with me? Dropping things everywhere. Okay, let me see if I've got that piece. I don't think. Oh, here it is. Yes, I do. Okay, make sure this is the right piece. 4 3/4. Yes, by 3.5. Okay, so those are the elements that you're going to need. And then also a small piece of blueberry bushel that measures 3/4 of an inch by 4.5. Okay, so to start, let's just glue these two pieces together. That way I won't lose one of them in the mix while I'm putting the card together, because I've been known to do that once or twice. You ever been making a card and then just had something right in front of you, and then all of a sudden it's gotten legs and walked away? Now, that happens to me quite frequently. So today it will not, because it is glued in place. That's not to say I won't lose this base, but hopefully not. Okay, then I'm going to bring in my just basic white paper, and I am using the Stamparatus today, even though we do not carry this awesome tool any longer, unfortunately. So you will need a very large block in order to put this, can you see that? Move this over a little bit. This large stamp on a block. I believe our large block is H, I think is the right number. Could be wrong on that, but anyway, I've put it on the stamp apparatus. It'll just make it easier to complete. Make sure I've got it all on here. So maybe down this one. Put a few magnets around to hold it in place. Now this is going to get die cut, so not quite over far enough. So it doesn't have to be on here square. Okay, that works. And then I'm going to bring in my Memento black ink to ink this up. Put a stamp pad under here so I can really press on it. I didn't mean a stamp pad, I meant a stamp set. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And even if it doesn't, we can stamp it again. Okay, that should do it. Because I probably have to go over this one more time, but yep, one more time. Now, if you are using a block, what I would suggest, an acrylic block instead of a stamp apparatus, I would suggest inking up your Memento black ink pad, knowing that it's got plenty of ink, which I did not do before I started this project, so please forgive me for taking up a little more of your time than necessary. I like that one. And then you shouldn't have that issue that I've been kind of dealing with here. Put this aside. Okay, bring this back in. All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, so are you ready for the fun? Just want to make sure that's good and dry. So the way, now you can just color this, no problem. But the fun part about this particular stamp set called Layers of Beauty is not only does it come with the dies, it comes with 5 masks. And they're like coloring masks. So each one of these actually have a number. So up in this little left-hand corner, you see the number 1, and it also has this little notch. So when we start to play with this, you're actually going to match up. I think this goes this way. Yeah, you're actually going to match up the pattern on the mask with the pattern that you've stamped. And when you get it just right, I think actually, let me do one thing first. Let's see, I don't have any, let me just do this. Let me just tape. You don't really have to do this, but just for the sake of the fact that I'm videoing it and I don't want it to move around and mess up, I'm just going to put some tape on. Okay, then we're going to add the mask. Okay, so you're going to match up the design on your mask with the design that you just stamped. And one of the ways that I like to make sure that I've got it in just the right place, I'm not going to use that, is look for the smallest areas first and match those up, and then the big areas are just a breeze. Okay, so once you've got that done, you can also tape that down if you prefer. I'm not going to, however. I am going to pull in my Daffodil Delight ink and a blending brush. I'm going to ink up the brush, and then I'm going to lightly, really lightly, apply some color. Now sometimes demonstrators will come over here and they'll like rub part of their ink off, because sometimes it can be concentrated a lot right in the middle of the sponge. But as long as you come down and just really lightly press, you won't get a big blotch of color. So that's the way I like to do it. That way I'm not wasting any color. I'm just going to go over each one of these areas that are open in my mask. You might have to ink up your brush, your blending brush, a couple of times, if that's okay. And I highly recommend just going over this first layer quite lightly. You can always add color, but you can't take color away. So that's my biggest advice on this project. Okay, you ready for some, whoops, I missed that one. Okay, make sure that came through. Okay, you ready for some magic? Are you sure you're ready? All right, boop, ta-da! I love this technique. Okay, now it gets better. Now we're going to look for mask. Oh, forgot to tell you one thing. Let me put this back on here real quick. Real quick. Okay, right there. Okay, what you want to do, you might be wondering what that little notch is for at the top here. If you place a notch on your paper, your grid paper or scrap paper, whatever you're using, and then I'm also going to do one just down here in the bottom right hand corner. You probably really even need that one, but it'll help. Then what happens is when you get ready to add number 2, nope, that's 3. Let's see, number 2 should be this one. Yep, okay. Then you just find that little notch and add that right into the one that you have written down on your paper, and line that one up down here at the bottom, and you should be all lined up your mask to the design underneath it. How cool is that? And then you're just going to ink up your blending brush again, make sure you're in the notch, make sure everything lines up, and then this time you can actually apply a little more pressure. You can even use a different color, like some type of maybe a darker yellow, although this will be concentrated. So you're going to see when I pick this up that it's going to actually be darker. One, I'm putting more pressure on it, and two, the way this is designed, it will create darker shades. Don't let it slip on you like I just did. So that when you pick it up, make sure you got all the little pieces. Okay, you're going to see a bit of a darker shade. Can you see that in the video? Maybe I need to zoom in some. Okay. I can't move that because then it won't match, but let's see, can I make my whole? I think you can see it all right. Okay, then we're going to go to, and if you want to go back, you can always, if you look at it, you've gotten the mat, taken the mask off, and you've looked and you go, oh, it's not quite as dark as I really wanted it. By all means, just put a little more ink on your blending brush. Make sure that's lined up, and go back and add more. That's perfectly okay. You want to add a different tint, like maybe a little bit of blush, you can do that. I think you can see the difference in those two colors. And then we're going to go for number 3. Match up the notch, match up the bottom right hand corner, and then on this one it's really easy to see these tiny circles. They are actually the center of your flowers. So here you could actually add something different. On, oh, I should have done that. On this one, I actually masked off these yellow ones and added blue, and I should have done that on the sample that I'm showing you, and I did not think about it, so I apologize for that. But you could here, at this point, add like a different color to the center of the flowers, like maybe orange, peachy color, something like that. I'm just going to go ahead with yellow. But I'm kind of sorry that I forgot about adding the blue flowers. But it's all good. Just know that you can. I'll explain it this way. Let me go back to number 1. Okay, so on number 1, and actually on number 2 as well, when you did this, what you would do is you'd mask these yellow flowers out, the big ones, and you would add blue ink with a blue blending brush to those small flowers. That's the only difference. When you put on number 2, you would kind of do the same thing. Mask out the big yellow flowers. And the reason I say mask them out is because when you're using this brush, or even the small brushes, and you're trying to get the blue in those small flowers, it's easy to come up into the yellow. And then where you've added blue over the yellow, you're going to have a green rim wherever you have gone over into the bigger yellow flowers. Hopefully that all makes sense. Okay, and then where are we? That's number 1, number 2. Okay, so we're on to number 3. So here, it's really easy to match up those those little tiny centers on the flowers. I always look for the little elements first and kind of match those up, and then the bigger ones kind of fall into place. But the notch really helps as well. Okay, I think I've got everything where I want it. And then I'm really going to press on this one. I really want this to be very dark. So I'm really adding some pressure, adding some more ink. Okay. And there you can see the darker centers on the flowers. Actually, I could even go a little darker. I'm wondering if I've got enough ink in my daffodil. I'm wondering if that's why it's not as dark as I thought it would be, because I'm really putting some pressure on it. Let me find my little centers to my flowers. I'll try that one more time. All right. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, that actually helped. Okay. Can you see that? Hopefully. It's hard for me to tell what you're actually seeing on the video because my screen is super small. Okay, so that was stencil number 3. So now I'm going to bring in stencil number 4. Stencil number 4 is actually for the leaves. Look, I'd even brought the blue ink pad in to do the blue flowers. Oh, so sorry. Okay. Line up the notch. And then, again, look for the small elements on the card. They're usually the easier ones to help things to line up. And then I'm going to bring in a green, oops, just stuck my hand in the ink pad. This is Garden Green, and on this first layer, go light, go lightly. You will be happy you did, because then when you add the second layer of green, you'll see the contrast. If you just press down hard on this right off the bat, you're not going to have so much contrast in the second layer. So just go lightly on this one. I love this. I love this technique. Now, I love to color, don't get me wrong. I do. I color with blends all the time. But this is just too fun. And the magic when you get it done. Oh my goodness, look at that. Is that not pretty? So, so pretty. Alright, and then I'm going to actually get some ink on my blending brush this time first. That way I know I've got it good and saturated. I'm going to match up my notch. You guys have got to try this. So this set again is called Layers of Beauty. There's another one that's similar, which I'll show you at the end of this video. I've got quite a few samples to show you. There's one that's similar called Enduring Beauty, I'm pretty sure it's called. I'll show you some samples of that one as well. Okay, I think I'm happy with where that is. Now this one, you are going to want to press down harder, because this is the one where you're going to add some, like a different, what do I want to call that, like a more vibrant green, and it'll add so much shading. You're just going to be so surprised. Or not, maybe you've already seen this technique, but I love it. It's very exciting to me. And then voila, there's your finished product. Is that not beautiful? I just think that's so, so pretty. Okay, so I do need to die cut that, which I will do. I'm just going to remove these little pieces of tape. You could even actually, what I usually do, and I just don't have it in the room with me, is I put some repositionable tape on the back and then just put it down, and it sticks and holds in place. But that's okay. We made it work. Okay, so this one is going to go this way. And I can't do that on my mini cut and emboss, so I'm going to go do that on the big one, which is in the other room. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Now, I'm going to just take this out. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to use this for my base, and I think I want it like that. Yeah. Okay, and I'm just going to glue this straight down. You could pop it up if you wanted to, but I'm actually going to pop this layer up. So I'm going to put the flowers flat down, I call it. Get some of that extra glue off of there. Make it slide around a little easier. Alright, and then just add the glue. Again, I'm usually using, you'll usually see me if you're watching my videos, you'll usually see me using the Tombow liquid glue. I'm a fan. But I also like the Stamp and Seal. I just find I don't use it as often as I do this one. It's funny how people will just get the, you know, like a favorite, and that's usually the one that they usually pick up. Okay, I think I've got enough glue, and then I'm going to, let's see, this one here, I think I'll put it like that. And it's going to come off of the paper slightly, and that's fine. Okay, I think I want it right there. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this layer. So actually, being that I have quite a few little strips on this, I'm just going to use those. All right. I'm zoomed in a little bit, so hopefully I'm not off screen anywhere. But I just think you'll be able to see better with me, with the camera zoomed in. So we're going to keep it that way. I think you're going to like it better. Okay, come on. And one more, which I don't really have one more, so we'll just use dimensionals on this side. And then like one or two in the center. It's just a big piece, so I want to make sure that it doesn't sink down in the middle there. Alright, so I'm just going to take these off. I need my little trash can in here. one of the girls that I stamp with on a regular basis, she's in my Stampers Club, she found the cutest little tiny trash can that she brings to class with her, and everybody uses it because it's just so convenient. I need to get one of those for in here, as it would just be the perfect size for throwing in the backs of the dimensionals and other little pieces of trash that you end up having when you're card making. Okay, I think that's got it. Alright, now I'm going to center that best I can. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now on this card I used one of the sentiments that actually comes with the stamp set, which has disappeared on me. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it actually comes with "You Make My Heart Smile," and I simply embossed it on Blueberry Bushel cardstock with white embossing powder, and then I cut it apart. Okay, but I wanted one, I needed a birthday card, so I pre-embossed this one with the same thing, but Blueberry Bushel and Blueberry Bushel cardstock and white embossing powder. And I did that beforehand. You may not know how to do that. If you don't, by all means, go and watch some of my other videos. I do actually have some, I think I'm going to cut this on a slant, some projects where I have used the embossing powder. I'm going to show you a little trick with this that somebody showed me. So if you want to make sure that this side and this side are actually equal, use this piece to line up on this side, and then use that as a cutting template, and then they're both even. How's that? Okay, and so I think I want, where do I want to put this? I think I'm going to put it down a little lower than my other one, than on the other card. And I'm actually thinking I might want it skinnier, which I could do on my paper cutter, but I'm going to actually freehand it. Because I want the person I'm sending this to be able to see all of the flower, not have it covered up with the sentiment. Ooh, I hope I'm cutting that straight. Okay, not bad, not bad. Oh yeah, I like that better. I think that's quite cover so much space. So again, I'm just going to go flat down with this. But you could pop it up if you wanted to. Only thing you have to watch with popping things up is postage. If you get too much bulk, then the post office wants to charge you extra to mail it. So you're probably all well aware. Okay, and then I want to add a few embellishments. So I just usually use whatever I find that I think will match well. You know, on this card I used the blues and the greens. I'm wondering if I should use black. But no, I think I like this. So these are from the Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels. Again, they're retired, but there's no way. I buy so many embellishments because I love them, that there's no way I can use them all in the time frame that we have them in a catalog, which is usually like, sometimes it can be as short as 3 or 4 months, and then sometimes it can be a year. But I save them and use them whenever I think that they will look perfect, that color combo on a card. And so that's kind of what I did with this one. I was just like, oh, well, what would look pretty here? And this blue just matched that Blueberry Bushel so well that I decided to go with that. And I don't know, I almost think I want a couple more. Yeah, I think I do. Let's see. Let's use this one up here just because it's getting lost. It's really light, super light. Let's stick it down in that little hole there. And then I think I'll add just a couple more of those little small light ones. Like I said, I love embellishments. I can't get that one to go on my, here we go. How about out down in this little corner? Over here maybe? Yeah, let's maybe out that way. Okay, I think I like that. I think I'm done. What do you think? Do you like it? I hope so. I'll bring in the original here. There are a few more embellishments on that one. Actually, I'm going to add a couple more. I am going to put a few more rhinestones because this corner up here sort of looks empty. So let's put one there and then maybe a little tiny green one. Oh yeah. What do you think? There? There. Okay, I like that much better. All right, there you are. So in the comments, let me know which one do you like better, the happy birthday or the you make me smile. I'm curious. And so I want to show you some other cards that I made using this Layers of Beauty stamp set and the masks. I hope you enjoyed that, but let me show you a few more that I made. Oh, I've got envelopes on them. Hopefully they'll show up pretty good. Okay, so this one says sorry for your loss, and on this one I took a little bit of I don't remember, I want to say Petal Pink, and just took a blending brush and added a little extra color to the centers of that, just not with the mask, just plain with the brush and just rubbing in a little bit of a different color. And then I have this one. This one is for a sympathy card, remembering the life of someone so special and sending thoughts of sympathy and peace. I don't have that stamp set in here. I do know it's current, but I don't know the name of it. So is this one? No, this one is not. This one is retired. Sorry for your loss. But this one, pretty sure is still current. Then this is sort of a vintage take on the card, made with Petal Pink. And this actually is in the card. This is one of the sentiments that's, in the set. Happy anniversary. And that's done on Basic Beige, which is one of our new colors. It's really pretty. The background is out of the Country Woods Designer Series paper. And the little elements are pecan pie and Basic Beige. This is another sort of vintage looking one. Again, I'm pretty sure that's Petal Pink. I could be wrong on that one, but I'm not positive. Pecan Pie, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive. And then last but not least, I've used the exposed brick, I think it's called. Not designer, I can't maybe see that one. Embossing folder. I'll pull that out of the sleeve, might be able to see it a little better. Oh, there you go. So that's it. I think it's called exposed brick. And then blueberry bushel ribbon, blueberry bushel jewels. And the colors are actually the same as I used on the card I just made. So Daffodil Delight, Garden Green, and Blueberry Bushel on the flowers. And then as promised, I want to show you just a couple more. Well, actually, let me put these out so you can see them one more time before I put them all away. Actually, I'm going to have to go out further. Oh yeah, that's picking up that light. There we go. Happy anniversary. I love this vintage one. This is probably my favorite one, but I don't know. I like them all. I like a lot of them. So there's that collection, and then this one as well. And then I don't have room for this one, but this one as well. Okay. And then to show you the other stamp set that uses the same technique with the masks, it's called Enduring Beauty. Bring that in. So here is the stamp set. And see, these flowers are a little more bold, which I absolutely love, but I just thought that was so much different than the delicate delicateness, is that a word, of this set, so I had to have them both. But let me show you some of I made so many of these because I just couldn't stop. So this one is, let me move this out of the way. Crash. So this one is done where it's embossed in white, and then it is colored in Moody Mauve, and oh wait a minute, what's the name of that? Soft Sea Foam and Garden Green. I did say white embossed. Okay, so that's one. Then this is probably one of my favorites. This is done in Lemon Lolly, and this also has a small strip in the back from an embossing folder. This again, this is also has an embossed background. Can you see that? Yeah. And I apologize that I don't always, can't really see that one very good. There we go. I don't always know the names of the embossing folders. Pretty sure this one is still current. I'm not totally sure. I don't ever throw my embossing folder, or sell, I should say sell, I never would throw them away. I don't ever sell my embossing folders, so I have like lots and lots, and so I don't always remember the names, but please forgive me. I'm a big advocate of using what you have. So even though I'm a demonstrator, I try to show a lot of things that are current, but not always, using especially like the stamp sets might be current, but then everything else might not be. And so then I have a couple more here. So this one is just white embossed on As Your Afternoon. And then I've also stamped the same big stamp in the background on this card. I'm sure you can see these with that light. Let me take this out of the envelope. Oh yeah, there we can see it. So you can see where I've stamped the background. Just with As Your Afternoon. It's really hard to see on the camera, I'm so sorry. Oh, there you can see it there pretty well. Just in that same color, As Your Afternoon. And then I did this one. It's the same concept. Please excuse the glare on these. I have these in protective covers. That's why that's glaring like that. But I've stamped, as you can see on this one, I stamped the background. And then I've just done the embossing in, actually this one is in vanilla. And then I've added a little bit of Pretty Peacock ribbon. And I think that's about everything there. This sentiment is also in that stamp set. So Holding You Close in My Heart was one. This one as well, Love Endures All Things. This one is from a different set. And let me see, that one. Okay, so this is a little interesting. So this one says Love You Always. So what I did with this is I stamped a couple of different sentiments and then cut them apart and put them together. So Love You Always. So I stamped this one and then cut it apart and put it together to make that. Okay, that goes there. Then this one I absolutely love. And I copied this one from another demonstrator, but I just couldn't resist. I just thought this was so pretty. So it's embossed in silver, and then it is colored. Gosh, I'm trying to remember, what did I color this in? It looks like Bubble Bath, Boho Blue, or Balmy Blue. Gosh, I'm not sure. I should write these down in my envelopes, but I did not. Let's see if it's inside. No, it's not. Okay, I'm so sorry. But it appears as though it's, I want to say, that color looks like mint macaron, which we do not have anymore, but so does the bow. But any light green, you know, play with your colors. It's like the pink, blue, and green. I mean, it just, to me, was really pretty, especially with that silver embossing. I love this card. So thank you. I think her name was Kathleen Bree that gave me that idea. This one's quite different. This one is cut apart, as you can see, and then added to the card that way. You're in my heart and prayers. Comes out of the, I just had that stamp set in here a bit ago. Oh, so sorry. I'll put it on the video. When I do the video, I will definitely include all the little details that I don't remember. Oh, actually, but this video, I haven't done a video with this particular set yet, but maybe I should. And then I did this one. This was actually my first one, so it was sort of a practice piece. And it's done in blueberry, granny apple green. And that's it. That's just 2 colors. I'm just looking at that, trying to figure out, I've got some notes over here, and I'm like trying to figure out if I could come up with the color on this one, but evidently I can't. So I'm sorry, I'm rambling, and I don't mean to do that. I know you just dropped in to see the cards that I'm making and not listening to all of my fluff at the end here where I'm just thinking out loud. So please excuse me for doing that. So let me say, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will come back and visit me again. Again, my name is AtYourServiss, and I am at your service. So anything I can do for my customers, I try to accommodate. So if there's anything that you need, any questions you might want to ask me, by all means, please leave me a comment. And you can actually email me as well at otobestampin@yahoo.com. And if you see something that you were interested in adding to your craft stash, my online store is www.otobestampin.stampinup.net. So thank you again for stopping by. I hope you will come back again. Bye for now.